what's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're talking about the 2013 science fiction Tom Cruise hit, It's Oblivion. A film I'd seen only once before, in theater. I've owned it for a while though, I just never got around to rewatching it until now for whatever reason. I remembered enjoying it as a general rule, but I couldn't remember any specifics regarding the plot itself until I saw it again, and I had forgotten how fun it is. Even if it does take obvious inspiration from other science fiction films, it's the perfect film to end this Estival season, so let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, Estival, of or relating to the summer. Oblivion focuses on Jack Harper, a mechanic operating on the ruins of Earth after an intergalactic war has left the planet dead and abandoned. Huge machines gulp ocean water to convert to fuel for the colonies residing off-planet. His job is to protect the machines converting the water from alien life that still resides on the planet. To help him get the job done right, his memories have been wiped, but when they come flooding back, problems arise, and he begins to realize that not all is as it appears to be. Like I said, this is a fun movie, for sure. Something about it stands out as awe-inspiring, even though it clearly takes inspiration from other popular science fiction stories like 2001: A Space Odyssey and Moon particularly. But if you're going to borrow from things like that, the best thing that you can do is still make it your own. And I think Oblivion mostly does just that. Yeah, the nods are obvious, but miraculously, the film still feels incredibly original when you watch it. That's all due to the approach and execution, and especially the performance from Tom Cruise himself, who fits this film incredibly well. At this point, I hadn't really seen Cruise in a ton of science fiction films other than maybe Minority Report or War of the Worlds, but even so, those were different kinds of sci-fi. This was so specific and it fits him so well. A big part of why this movie stands out to me is whatever's going on behind the scenes. Visually speaking, you'll have a hard time not remembering what you've physically seen in the film. It's very bright. He's wearing a white costume. The land itself around him is also very bright. There's just a look about it. Overall, that's just memorable, as are the visuals when it comes down to special effects, which are all top-notch. Also when it comes down to the cinematography and camera work, all of which are very excellent. And I had forgotten how great the original score is, which just perfectly creates the atmosphere and ambiance of mystery that this movie is all about. Watching it is without a doubt a great experience. If I had absolutely anything negative to say about it at all, I would say that it could be perceived as confusing. There's maybe one too many scenes with exposition, and because there's so many moving parts in the film that need to be explained later, I just felt like the film needed some kind of visual explanation whenever characters would go on long exposition tangents. I'll admit, I had to go online to look up if I was right in assuming this happened or that happened, and I was, but the reason why I had to do that is because something about how the film presented itself didn't answer the question perfectly. Like I said, there's a lot to this film. There's an enigmatic mystery at the heart of it, most of which you won't have any idea about until later on in the film, so it does require that exposition, but sometimes there should be a limit to how much you have to verbally explain. Show the audience the rest. Let them physically see what happens. Had it done that, I wouldn't have felt the need to look it up. Other than that, yeah, go see the movie for yourself. It's certainly hard to talk about because so much is happening in this movie that going over any of it could be seen as spoilerific. Hopefully I got the main gist across. That is, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. One that I personally wish that I watched more often. My unbiased technical score is 90% because I have a hard time finding many faults in this film other than the fact that it can sometimes be confusing with too much exposition. My bias score is a little bit higher at 94% because it's just so much fun in general. Averaging out the two scores, we come to a final rating of 92%, 92 out of 100 possible stars, granting this film with a letter grade of A-. It's an incredibly decent film, and I wonder what you guys have to say about it. Have you seen it? If you've seen it, guys, let me know what you think about it in general and as a Tom Cruise flick. As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this review, because there's always more like it coming out each and every single day. Hit the subscribe button and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us.